Let me save you some of your time. Star Fox Assault's Landmaster missions are absolute garbage. Don't play this game. Now that that's out of the way, I recently played Star Fox Assault for the first time. When it comes to video games, I'm a stubborn old fool. I absolutely hate Final Fantasy VII Rebirth side missions. It's open world with all of its collectibles and map markers you have to fill out. But I push myself to complete them because I feel like if I don't, I'm shorting myself out on extra content. It doesn't matter if the side quests are boring or the fetch quests don't have any meaningful rewards. My toxic hardcore gamer trait is I try to finish as much of the side content as I can. Honestly, it's left me missing out on beating some of my favorite games. I think back to Judgment on PS4, and I got so fed up with all the side content I never finished it. I did beat Lost Judgment, though. That was fun. I didn't do as many side missions. So even after I realized that I bought Star Fox Assault by accident, the hardcore gamer in me pushed me to finish that game in full. So, as to not waste my time, I'm gonna review it. Nintendo's Star Fox series is something of a cult classic. Its series highs are among some of the best when it comes to 3D shooters. But unfortunately for fans of the series, they can commiserate with fans of similar Nintendo series, like F-Zero or Mother, because Nintendo won't do the series justice by bringing them to modern-day platforms. Star Fox Assault is the fourth entry in the Star Fox series. Unlike Star Fox Adventures, its predecessor, Star Fox Assault returns to the 3D space shooting action that the series was known for from the SNES and N64 days. It's also far from the beloved game that those games were, with fans and critics alike saying that the games left something to be desired. That said, when I played the game a few months ago, I have no nostalgia fogging up my glasses. The only opinion I can rely on is the one I formed 19 years after the game was originally released. So I have to ask, is Star Fox Assault a bad game? In all honesty, buying Star Fox Assault was a mistake. Last year I went on a spree of buying GameCube games. I made a video about that. No, I wasn't out here dropping boohoo bucks for games like Cubivore or Chibi Robo, which apparently isn't even that good. I was buying some of the essentials I never had, the Crazy Taxis and the Mario Golf Toadstool Tours. On the note about obscenely overpriced video games, what's the deal with Fire Emblem Path of Radiance? I played like the first 8 chapters of the game, and it's not that good. I hate the fact that I had to ride Titania, the paladin you start with, to beat like all the missions. Granted, I guess you're supposed to play the game on easy mode, but I'm not a pansy. Anyway, Star Fox Assault is one of those GameCube essentials I picked up. At least I thought it was essential. I was actually trying to buy Star Fox Adventures. I've mentioned this before, but the story goes I sold that game when I was a kid, and I wanted to buy it back recently. And I confused the A's, and so I picked up Star Fox Assault. I mean, I have Adventures now too, but I also have Assault. But honestly, it all worked out. Where Star Fox Adventures was developed by Rare and was a Zelda-like that introduced fan service to the character, Star Fox Assault brought back the 3D space shooting gameplay that was made popular by the SNES and N64 games. Well, sort of. As was the case with 6th generation games, there was a push to go bigger and better. More disk space and better graphics mean bigger and better games, right? This is the generation that gave us God of War, Resident Evil 4, and GTA San Andreas. Devs could finally start to marry storytelling with the graphics and gameplay we used to imagine while playing stuff like Final Fantasy VII. Star Fox Assault, which was outsourced by Nintendo to Namco, certainly looks the part. Fox and friends are seen in space in a level of detail not yet seen for the series. Gameplay-wise, though, it's regularly called out for not capturing the magic of the original games. Just a few months ago, Dylan Cuthbert, one of the original programmers, said that the game was missing some of that Nintendo magic that the series was originally known for. I'm not here to say he's wrong. In fact, he's probably right. What I can say is that from someone with no nostalgic connection to Star Fox Assault, it's not really that bad of a game. Let's start with the bad. Of all the things ruined from Star Fox 64 in particular, the Landmaster controls. In my playthrough, I never really got comfortable turning.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Steering and aiming with this mode, because you have to move forward yourself, is really hard. This is really hard to steer though, like with the whole... These are terrible controls. Because you can't go forwards or backwards and turn.
Basically, despite there being a number of control schemes, it seems like the Landmaster always defaults to a twin stick setup. The left stick controls acceleration and the right stick turns. Pressing left or right on the left stick, however, causes the Landmaster to turn accordingly, leaving you in something of a two-wheel drift akin to something you'd see in Fast and the Furious. Thankfully, there aren't that many Landmaster levels required in this game. The bigger issue is just the overall lack of levels. There are exactly 10 missions in Star Fox Assault, and unlike Star Fox 64, there aren't alternate paths. What you see is what you get here, and outside of the increased difficulty settings, there isn't much else. For serious fanatics, those can be major gripes. For a time, Star Fox was a premier franchise for Nintendo, existing as a showcase of the company's most impressive game tech. But, for an outsider looking in, Star Fox Assault has enough of the shared DNA from those previous games, for an outsider at least, to overlook some of those road bumps, or asteroid fields. It's a space joke. As a first-time player in 2024, I'm actually pleased with some of the added depth to Star Fox Assault. For starters, there's a third-person shooter mode. Fox and his metal boots finally hit the ground to do his best Master Chief impression. His movement is limited. He can shoot, roll, run, and jump. But that's basically all you need for a game like this. I grew up on Smash Bros, so maybe this is a bit of nostalgia showing, but it's pretty rewarding to see Fox do something other than pilot an Armwing. It's like Samus. We know she's primarily a bounty hunter who fends off enemies with her arm cannon, but we also know she can fly her ship in a pinch. In a sense, the new gameplay speaks to a level of character development. Story-wise, the Star Fox series is confusing. There's the SNES game, then there's Star Fox 2, but that Star Fox 2 was scrapped. Then Star Fox 64 was reworked to be a reboot of the SNES game, but it also implemented ideas from the cancelled second game. By the time we get to Assault, time is clearly passed. Peppy is retired from the cockpit. Crystal, who is in Star Fox Adventures, has joined the team. But then, 10 years later IRL, Star Fox Zero puts Peppy back in the cockpit and basically recreates the intro mission from Star Fox 64, which was already a recreation of the SNES game. All that said, in Star Fox Assault, which is fully voice acted, Star Fox fans get a glimpse of what progressive storytelling could look like in the series. We're given a glimpse into new character relationships. Did you know that Slippy has a dad? Or that Dinosaur Planet exists outside of Star Fox Adventures? Even Star Wolf's couple of appearances paint them less as a second set of antagonists, and more as rivals and occasional companions with an antagonistic side to them. Also, this game added Panther to Wolf's team, and I'm pretty sure that's just a Jaimon Hansu character.
This is all done.
What Falco said.
First class meal.
Yeah, Panther's definitely black. Like, not just because, he's a Black Panther, but he has that, like, Jaimon Hansu sound to him.
Star Fox Assault brings out a little more depth through the weapon types. In addition to his signature blaster, he has various real-world weapons that have various attributes like damage buffs or lock-on tech. I'm not saying this is some revolutionary Call of Duty level of gameplay, but it's a nice touch. Combat in Assault feels about as straightforward as the N64 game, except for piloting the Landmaster, which sucked. Shooting and locking on felt natural and responsive, while all range sections were about as challenging as in 64. This is mostly because the arenas can be a bit tight, leading to a lot of forced turnarounds when you hit the arena barriers. The GameCube did provide the added benefit of clarity. Now the levels aren't stuck beneath the trademark N64 fog. Don't get me wrong, draw distance can still be an issue, but being able to see where you're flying has never been easier. On another note, the music in Assault is just fine, with most tracks being orchestrated versions of their N64 counterparts. But my god, the rework of Star Wolf's theme is amazing. It's remixed to feature more Spanish-sounding instrumentation, which adds even more style to the Star Wolf team. As I wrote this review, I started to wonder what I was really trying to say about Star Fox Assault. The game is decently challenging and offers enough of a new kick and a dash of spice that it should be well welcomed as part of the series. Shouldn't that be enough? If Assault released in 2024, I would completely understand the response to the game. It's not some 40-hour epic that justifies a $70 price tag, but Star Fox Assault released in 2005, during a time when Nintendo has shifted its priorities towards handheld gaming on DS. Outside of Star Fox Assault, there wasn't a single mainline Nintendo game released in 2005 for the GameCube. No major Mario game, no Kirby, no Yoshi. Even the Donkey Kong game that dropped was a rhythm game. In hindsight, the GameCube became a playground for Nintendo's more unique game choices. Let's give Mario a water jetpack. Let's make Kirby into a racing game. Let's make Samus 3D. By contrast, Star Fox Assault was a fairly safe attempt at continuing a fan-favorite series on the latest home console, but reception to it was lukewarm, and since then, sales of new Star Fox games have dropped off, leaving the series dead in the water. I'm not here to say that Star Fox Assault was a great game. I'm also not gonna say you should go and try to play it in 2024. But I can say that for what it was and when it was released, Star Fox Assault was an earnest attempt at revitalizing a series that often showed up at the wrong place in the wrong time. It's not that it's a bad game, it's just a case of being too little too late. Thanks so much for watching. I felt I had to make a video of this game just because I finished it and had the footage. It was fun to make too. I mean, it's, like I said, it's not really a bad game. It's something that for an hour, 2 hours, however long it takes you to beat, it's a fun romp, and it's a cool way to see how Nintendo loaned out one of its major IPs to another company and see what they could come up with. But that's going to do it for this episode. What do you want to see next time? I have a couple other ideas in the can, but if there's another game you want me to cover, let me know. As always, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. Have a great day.